And while Patrick drowned on reading the list from a sheet of paper because it was too long to memorize, I kept my eyes closed, trying to think prayerfully, but mostly imagining the day when my name would find its way onto that list, all the way at the end when everyone had stopped listening. When Patrick was finished, we said this stupid mantra together, living our best life today. And it was over. Augustus Waters pushed himself out of his chair and walked over to me. His gait was crooked like his smile. He towered over me, but he kept his distance so I wouldn't have to crane my neck to look at him in the eye. "What's your name?" he asked. "Hazel." "No, your full name." Hazel Grace Lancaster." He was just about to say something else when Isaac woke up. "Hold on," Augustus said, raising a finger, and turned to Isaac. "That was actually worse than you made it out to be. I told you it was a blick. What do you bother with it?" "I don't know. It kind of helps." Augustus leaned in, so he thought I couldn't hear. "She's a regular?" I couldn't hear Isaac comment, but Augustus responded. "I say." He clasped by he clasped He clasped Isaac by both shoulders and then took a half step away from him. "Tell Hazel about clinic." Isaac leaned a hand against the snack table and focused his huge eye on me. "Okay, so I went into clinic this morning and I was telling my surgeon that I'd rather be deaf than blind. And he said, it doesn't work that way. And I was like, yeah, I realize it doesn't work that way. I'm just saying I'd rather be deaf than blind if I have the choice, which I realize I don't have. And he said, well, the good news is that you won't be deaf. And I was like, thank you for explaining that my eye cancer isn't going to make me deaf. I feel so fortunate that an intellectual giant like yourself will deign to operate on me." "He sounds like a winner," I said. I'm gonna try to get some eye cancer just so I can make this guy's acquaintance." "Good luck with that." "All right, I should go. Monica's waiting for me. I gotta look at her a lot while I can." "Come chatting surgeons tomorrow?" Augustus asked. "Definitely." Isaac turned and ran up the stairs, taking them two at a time. Augustus Waters turned to me. "Literally," he said. "Literally," I asked. "We are literally in the heart of Jesus," he said. "I thought we were in a church basement, but we are literally in the heart of Jesus." "Someone should tell Jesus," I said. "I mean, it's gotta be dangerous storing children with cancer in your heart." "I will tell him myself," I used to say, "but unfortunately, I am literally stuck inside of his heart, so he wouldn't be able to hear me." I laughed. He shook, he shook his head, just looking at me. "What?" I asked. "Nothing," he said. "Why are you looking at me like that?" Augustus half smiled. "Because you're beautiful, and I enjoy looking at beautiful people. And I decided a while ago not to deny myself the simpler pleasures of existence." A brief, awkward silence ensued. Augustus plowed through. "I mean, particularly given that, as you so deliciously pointed out, all of this will end in oblivion in everything." And I kind of scoffed or sighed or exhaled in a way that was vaguely cocky, and then said, "I'm not You're like a millennial Natalie Portman. Like B for Vendetta, Natalie Portman. You are like a millennial Natalie Portman. Like B for Vendetta, like Natalie Portman. Never seen it, I said. Really? He asked. Pixie hair gorgeous girl dislikes authority and can't help but fall for a boy she knows is a trouble. It's your autobiography, so far as I can tell. His every syllable flirt. Honestly, he kind of turned me on. I didn't even know that guys could turn me on, not like that in real life. A younger girl walked past us. How is it going, Elisa? He asked. She smiled and mumbled. Hi, Augustus. Memorial people. He explained. Memorial was the big research hospital. Where do you go? Children's, I said, my voice smaller than I expected to be. He nodded. The conversation seems over. Well, I said, nodding vaguely toward the steps that I led us out of the literal heart of Jesus. I tilted my car onto its wheels and I started walking. He leaned beside me. So, see you next time, maybe? I asked. You should see it, he said. B for Vendetta, I mean. Okay, I said. I look it up. No, with me, at my house, he said. Now. I stopped walking. I hardly know you, Augustus Waters. You could be an ex murderer. He nodded. True enough, Hazel Grace. He walked past me, his shoulders filling out his green knit polo shirt, his back straight, his steps sliding just slightly to the right as he walked steady and confident on what I had determined was a prospective leg. Osteosarcoma sometimes takes a limb to choke you out. Then, if it likes you, it takes the rest. It takes the rest. I followed him upstairs, losing ground as I made my way up slowly, stairs not being a field or expertise for my lungs. Stairs not being a field of expertise for my lungs. And then we were out of Jesus' heart, and in the parking lot, the spring air just on the cold side of perfect, the late afternoon light heavenly in its hurtfulness. Mom wasn't there yet, which was unusual because Mom was almost always waiting for me. I glanced around and saw that a tall, curvy brunette girl and Isaac pinned against the stone wall of the church, kissing him rather aggressively. They were close enough to me that I could hear the weird noises of their mouths together, and I could hear him saying, always, and her saying, always, in return. Suddenly, standing next to me, Augustus half whispered, they're big believers in PDA. What's, what's with the always? The slurping sounds intensifies. Always is their team. They always love each other and whatever. I will conservatively estimate they have texted each other the word always 4 million times in the last year. A couple more cars drove up, taking Michael and Eliza away. It was just August and me now, watching Isaac and Monica, who proceeded a piece as if they were not leaning against a place of worship. His hand reached for her boob over her shirt and pounded at it, his palm still while his fingers moved around. I wondered if that felt good. It didn't seem like it would, but I decided to forgive Isaac on the grounds that he was going to be blind. The senses smooth peace while there is yet hunger in whatever. Imagine taking that last drive to the hospital, I said, quietly. The last time you'll ever drive a car. Without looking over at me, Augustus said, "You're killing my vibe here, Hazel Grace. I'm trying to observe young love in its many splendor and awkwardness. I think he's hurt. I think he's hurting her boob," I said. Yes, it's difficult to ascertain whether he is trying to arouse her or perform a breast arouse her or perform a breast exam. Then Augustus Waters reached into a pocket and all pulled out of all things a pack of cigarettes. He flipped it open and put a cigarette between his lips. "Are you serious?" I asked. "You think that's cool?" "Oh my god, you just ruined the whole thing." "Which whole thing?" he asked, turning on me. The cigarette dangled until from the unsmiling corner of his mouth. "The whole thing where a boy who is not unattractive or unintelligent or seemingly in any way unacceptable stares at me and points out incorrect uses of literature and compares me to actresses and asks me to watch a movie at his house, but of course, that is always a harmatia, and yours is that. Oh my god, even though you had freaking cancer, you gave money to company in exchange for the chance to acquire yet more cancer. Oh my god, let me just assure you that not being able to breathe sucks. Totally disappointing. Totally. Hermancha? He asked, the cigarette still in his mouth. It tightened his jaw. He had a hell of a jawline, unfortunately. "A fatal flaw," I explained, her turning away from him. I stepped toward the car, leaving Augustus Waters behind me, and then I heard a car start down the street. It was Mom. She'd been waiting for me to, like, make friends or whatever. I felt this weird mix of disappointment, and anger welling up inside of me. I don't even know what the feeling was really, just that there was a lot of it. And I wanted to smack Augustus Waters and also replace my lungs with lungs that didn't suck at being lungs. I was standing with my Chuck Taylors on the very edge of the curve, the oxygen tank full and changing in the cart by my side. And right as my mom pulled out, I felt a hand grab mine. I yanked my hand free but turned back to him. "They don't kill unless you light them," he explained as Mom arrived at the curb. "And I've never lit one. It's a metaphor, see? You put the killing thing right between your teeth, but you don't give it the power to do its killing. It's a metaphor," I said, dubious. Mom was just idling. "It's a metaphor," he said. "You choose your behaviors based on the metaphorical resonances," I said. "Oh yes," he smiled, the big goofy real smile. "I am a big believer in metaphor, Hazel Grace." I turned to the car, tapped the window, and rolled down. "I'm going to a movie with Augustus Waters," I said. "Please record the next several episodes of AMTM Marathon for me."